Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Departure. For those of you new here, I am a Chicago-based flight attendant and I make flight attendant travel and lifestyle videos. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the country of Japan, what to eat and where to stay and how to get around. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and also hit the bell icon so you get notifications when I'm posting new videos. If you want written information on what to see in Tokyo, Kyoto, and Nara, I have different blog posts on my blog, The Daily Departure, that I will link in the description below. And if you want to check out my travel vlogs from those three cities, I will also link those at the end of the video. I got to visit Japan last September with my sister, and we visited Tokyo, Kyoto, and Nara. It was one of our favorite trips and we absolutely love the country of Japan. It has such unique foods, such interesting culture, and just has such a fascinating vibe to it. First off, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks we learned in regards to getting around the city. If you're going to be spending time in the country of Japan and traveling to different cities, I would recommend looking into purchasing a JR Rail Pass. This was something we personally didn't use when we were there because we didn't really know about it, and also our travel plans are very flexible because we were non-revving using my flight benefits, so we kind of had a very semi-set schedule in regards to how long we were staying, and so this maybe wasn't the best option for us at the time. But if I would go back and spend an extensive amount of days, as maybe like a week or two there, I would definitely look into using the JR Rail Pass. The JR Rail Pass is a train pass that you can purchase, and it's one bulk sum for a pass that goes a long stretch of days, such as 7 days. And you can use this pass not only to get around in the city of Tokyo, but you can also use this pass to travel to different cities. While we were in Japan, we traveled from Tokyo to Kyoto, and that train ticket that we purchased was kind of expensive. It was around $150. Now, if you were going to be buying tickets from Tokyo to multiple cities, that's going to add up really quick. So you might as well look into doing the JR Pass, where you again pay one large sum like $200 or $300, and you can use it in the city of Tokyo to get around and also travel to farther destinations to other cities. If you're going to be traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto, my pro tip if you are booking a trip from Tokyo to Kyoto is see if you can request a seat on the side of the train that passes Mount Fuji. If you do that, you are going to get the most stunning view if it's a clear sky. In regards to getting around in the city of Tokyo, there is a separate metro pass that you can buy, and then the JR Rail Pass, and these are separate train lines. So if you have a JR Rail Pass, you can't use that to ride on the metro and vice versa. So if you are doing the JR Rail Pass, that's another expense you don't have to buy in the city of Tokyo. You can just ride their JR Rail that goes in between the different neighborhoods in the city. When we were in Tokyo, we purchased the metro passes, which were great, but when we were looking at maps to get from one point in the city to the next, we almost always liked the JR Rail map route better than the Metro Pass. So that is definitely why we were thinking next time we go, we want to purchase the JR Rail Pass instead of the Metro Pass, just purely for convenience. The first thing I would do when getting into the airport is make sure to pick up some yen. A lot of places, I feel like almost all the places, minus like the 7-Elevens and stuff we went to, they require you to have cash. So make sure to get yen out ahead of time so that you have it on hand to pay for things as you go. Also, when getting around the city, keep in mind that in Japan, they walk and drive on the left side. People really abide by this rule. So I would recommend being mindful of that, because when you're going up an escalator or a staircase or even walking down the street, people really do stick to those rules. So you don't want to be going against the crowd and running into people. Even for getting on the metro trains, people wait off to the side so that if people are coming off board, you're not in their way. It is super polite, and I really wish they did that in Chicago as well. But again, make sure to be off to the side when you're boarding a train. Now, figuring out where to stay in the city, I will share with you my personal experience when we were in Tokyo. When looking at the map from a tourist standpoint, it kind of seemed like there were neighborhoods on an east side and a west side. And when we stayed there, we decided to stay in the middle of them, which we really didn't like because every day we felt like we were doing a really far trek, and the train routes always had so many transfers in them. So in hindsight, we wish we would have stayed closer to the main area, the main train station, which is in Tokyo City. And we really liked the neighborhood Ginza. So if you're looking for a place to stay in Tokyo, I would recommend either near Tokyo City or near Ginza because, again, it's really close to the main train station, and if you're flying in from Narita or even from the airport that's in Tokyo, Haneda, that's closer to the city, you're gonna take a train to that main train station. It's gonna be a lot easier to get to your hotel from that main train station if you are closer as opposed to really far away or in the middle of the main tourist attractions. Also in the neighborhood of Ginza on Sundays, they close down their main road to vehicle traffic so pedestrians can walk all over the road without having to worry about cars being around. It's a really cool experience. I love that they do this, and you have to go visit it on a Sunday because it's such a unique experience. If you get to visit Tokyo when looking for a hotel, I would highly recommend signing up for an ID90 account and booking it through them. They offer great discounts on hotels, all-inclusives, cruises, as well as car rentals. Always down in the description of my videos is a link to sign up for an ID90 account, and again, if you want discounted hotels and travels, go ahead and check them out. While in Japan, we stayed in Kyoto, and though we visited Nara, we just did it as a day trip. In the city of Kyoto, the hotel we stayed at was in the main area with the covered markets, and we thought this location was really great. You're really close to a lot of different food options and shops, while also being at a really convenient location. It really wasn't far to get from our hotel to the train station. It was a pretty direct line on the bus route, and we just really loved the hotel that we stayed at. That information is on my Kyoto blog post, so if you need a recommendation of where to stay, go ahead and find that information and book a night at that same hotel. Let's talk about food, which was one of my favorite parts about Japan. In the neighborhood of Harajuku, I would recommend going to Flippers to get fluffy pancakes and Reissue Cafe to get some 3D latte art. Flippers Pancakes is one of those places you have probably seen on those Snapchat Insider videos or on Instagram. They're those fluffy Japanese pancakes. If you're gonna visit Flippers, try to go either early, closer to when they open, or try to go at a time in your schedule when you have some free time because there's most likely going to be a line outside to get in. They were incredibly fluffy and really tasty. And then our favorite spot is Reissue Cafe. They make 3D latte art, and you can also get your latte art custom made. So when we went in, we actually showed them a picture of our super cute fluffy 5-pound Maltese. They were able to make her in 3D latte art form. She was so cute, we almost didn't even want to drink it. They also have 2D latte art, which is really cool. Go ahead and check them out on Instagram because you can see all the really cool lattes that their artists make. Not food related, but if you are in Harajuku and you have some free time and want to hang out with some cute pets, you can visit Harry's Hedgehog Cafe. That is one of the animal cafes that we visited while there, and we got to play with some really cute little hedgehogs. If you want another snack, all over the city you can find different places to pick up taiyaki. This is a fish-shaped pancake that is made from an iron mold, and it has a bean jelly filling. This may sound kind of funky when you think bean sweet filling. That's kind of weird, but it is actually a super unique flavor and it's really delicious. Some of the places have different flavors as well. When we were there, they had peach flavored ones, so if you're a little bit intimidated by like the bean filling, you can get them flavored with a nice little extra taste. My favorite snack that we tried while in Japan was in Tokyo, and this is the Mitarashi Dango. This is a sweet dumpling on a skewer covered with a soy sauce glaze. Like I said, this was my favorite little treat that we got to try in Tokyo. After ordering one, we were like, this is so good, we have to order another one. You will find these all over the city, and sometimes they have a variety of how they're made and what colors they have, but I would definitely try to find a place and try these out because they were surprisingly so tasty. You might be really familiar with the fact that in Japan, you can find an array of unique Kit Kat flavors. The two places I would recommend going to find these Kit Kats is the Kit Kat store in Ginza and also the Don Quixote store that you can find all over the city. The Kit Kat store in the neighborhood of Ginza is a little shop with different unique Kit Kat flavors. It was really funny when we were here because this lady was buying some packages, must have been for souvenirs or something, and she spent like $200 on her purchase of Kit Kats, which was just so entertaining to us because we were like, she is a true Kit Kat fan if she's spending that much on Kit Kats. The other spot that you can stop to get some Kit Kat flavors is Don Quixote, which is a discount store that they have all throughout the city. Just going in this store, not even to get Kit Kats, is an experience in itself. It is jam-packed with all these different products, and it's just super entertaining to go inside and check out what they have. You can not only find different flavored Kit Kats in this store, you can also find different Japanese candies, such as this one that we actually brought back from Japan. My sister and I also filmed a Japanese candy taste testing video, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and see our reactions to our different Kit Kats and candies that we got in Japan. Another food to check out while you are in Japan is Misokatsu. This is a deep fried pork cutlet with miso sauce. I personally didn't get to try it because I don't eat meat, but my sister absolutely loved this food in Japan. I will link down her favorite place to get misokatsu in Tokyo in the description below. If you're looking for some good ramen in Tokyo, check out the restaurant Ippuro. And then in Kyoto, if you are looking for some good ramen, check out Injun Ramen. The ramen that I had at that restaurant was incredible, and I don't think that taste will ever be matched for me. It was also right across the street from our hotel, so if you want to stay at the same hotel and eat delicious ramen, definitely book where we stayed. The best part about Injun Ramen is that you order from a machine. So you go up to the machine, you put your yen in, you select which ramen that you want, it prints on a ticket, you go ahead and grab a seat, and then your waiter will come and take your ticket, and that is how you order. Also in the city of Kyoto, I would recommend going to visit the Starbucks that is by the Yasaka Pagoda because it is in a building with traditional style Japanese architecture. This was a recommendation we were given by some locals, and I'm really glad we went in, especially because in Japan they have really unique flavored Starbucks that you can't get anywhere else. Then in the city of Nara, the one food recommendation I have is one you will buy but you will not eat. That is because it is for the deer that roam around Nara. The city is known for having tons of deer that run around freely. You can go up and hang out with them or just watch them walk all over the city. It's super entertaining, and it was actually shocking to see it in person, just to see the deer roam freely and interact with all the different people. In the city, you will see tons of different little carts selling deer crackers, and you can purchase these for 150 yen. After you get your crackers, you can go and feed the deer with them. Pro tip, be careful where you feed the deer and make sure you have enough space to spread out. When we fed the deer, we were in a little street area and there wasn't a lot of place to move around, and there were a lot of deer in a really small spot. So as soon as we got those crackers out, they were hoarding around us and going crazy for the crackers. If you want to feed the deer, I would recommend going to the park area of Nara where you have a ton of more space to spread out and there aren't as many deer in a small space. Even in the park though, you will be faced with some crazy hungry deer who want some crackers, because we also saw some other girl trying to feed deer and they were just chasing her down. It was super entertaining, so definitely check out my Nara vlog to see me get attacked by deer. Also be careful because some of the bucks there, they shave their antlers down so they have little nubs on their head and they will still ram you. They did that to my sister and they did that to me. Pro tip number 2 in regards to feeding the deer: if you are going to purchase the crackers, make sure to either get your money out super discreetly or get it out not near the deer, because they will see that you're reaching in your bag, walking towards the cracker stand, and they will attack you like they did to us. In general, when moving around these 3 cities, if you need a spot to grab some snacks, I recommend stopping in the 7-Elevens. I know this sounds super random and there's 7-Elevens everywhere, but in the 7-Elevens in Japan, you can find items you cannot find anywhere else. We always got these little sandwich snacks. They were kind of like a Japanese version of Uncrustables, 1,000,000 times better, and also way fresher because when you purchase them, they expired pretty soon. My sister's other favorite item was the rice balls you can get from 7-Eleven. She really enjoyed those. That is everything I have to share with you guys today in regards to how to get around and what to eat while in Tokyo, Kyoto, and Nara. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Departure and also hit the bell icon so you get notifications when I'm posting new videos. You can also find me on Instagram, and in my Instagram highlight story section, I have saved images from our time in these 3 cities, so you can go go ahead and check those out, as well as my blog posts on the Daily Departure for more information on what to see while in these 3 cities. If you have any more questions about my time in Japan, feel free to comment down below. Otherwise, I will see you next time on the Daily Departure.